Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another vintage cube draft here on Magic Online. I'm the semiotician, and today we're gonna take it as it comes, try to pick the best cards that we can, and see if we can't make any headway here in a vintage cube draft. I've really been enjoying drafting again. It's one of my favorite Magic formats. I hope that you've been enjoying the subtle shift or transition to some cube content. We will be getting back to Legacy again soon, but while this cube's around, I wanna make use of it because I did not get to cube draft over the holidays on Magic Online, and I don't know. Sometimes it's just nice to re kind of kindle your love of the game by playing a different format. So let's see what we're cooking at here today. Let's see if we can't open something relatively busted here. Doesn't honestly look like we've got much in the realm of busted Magic cards right off the bat here. Oh me, oh my. What do we have here? There's a Path to Exile, which is like a very good removal spell. I don't see power. I don't see fetch lands. Those are the two things I kind of look out for, and I don't even see fetchable duels either. Oof. Okay, this is interesting. There's a Ketramos. I don't think I want a Ketramos. Too many lines of text on that card for me to care much about what it does. There's an Overlord of the Baelmerk. I think it's between Path to Exile and maybe Hull Breacher for me. Obviously, Hull Breacher is really good with wheels. I really enjoy casting wheels in this cube. I don't know that Hull Breacher is better than Path to Exile. Maybe we're just supposed to take Path as a removal spell, but I think I'm going to take the one really solid blue card and pass my the person to the left of me a number of other cards that aren't blue. Oh wow. Okay. We've got a few choices to make here. Of course, there's a Doomsday, which is an absolutely, I mean, one of my favorite Magic cards of all time. I don't think I want to take Doomsday just like right off the bat here. There's Mind Twist, which is excellent. Minsk and Boo, which I think is probably the most powerful card in this pack. And then there's also Vampiric Tutor and Spell Pierce as cheaper interaction, as well as Witherbloom Apprentice as one half of a nice combo finish. Obviously, Minsk and Boo doesn't pair as well with the Hull Breacher that we just took, but I think Minsk and Boo is very powerful, especially if we can play it relatively early. And so I think I'm just going to slam the big Planeswalker here. And we're just going to see what happens. Maybe we end up in Gruul. Maybe we get pulled in some other direction. Maybe we have like a kind of teamer control style deck. We shall see. Okay. This is a rather interesting draft. I mean, there's just Lose Focus. That's like a kind of medium counter spell. It's not as good as like Mana Leak or some of the others, I don't think. Like actual counterspell. There's also Fiery Confluence. Fiery Confluence is a very powerful card. Goes pretty well with Minsk and Boo, Timeless Heroes, in that it's also red. So I think I don't mind picking up Fiery Confluence in this particular spot. There's a Life Death as well. But yeah, I'm here for the Confluence, I think. And now, what have we got? There's a Spara's Headquarters. There's a Mystical Tutor. There's a Force of Negation. There's a Boneyard Dracosaur. There's also just Goblin Rabblemaster as like a pretty powerful 3-drop creature. We wanted to keep kind of charting down that route. I think we're pretty far from going down the Doomsday, direction here. It's possible that we might not even play our first pick Hull Breacher. I don't think I want to pick up Mystical Tutor. We so far don't have enough blue cards to support Force of Negation. So we could take Spirebluff Canal or just take Rabblemaster. Dracosaur is obviously also powerful, but I think I value just grabbing like a kind of 3-drop red card, to be totally honest. And then, what else have we got here? There's an Asika's Chariot. I think that's a decent card. Survival of the Fittest. Discard a creature, search your library for a creature. Doesn't seem the best. There's a Crater Hoop Behemoth in case we went down like the natural order kind of elf perspective. There's also a trumpeting Carnosaur, and there's a Dragon's Rage channeler. I could kind of see taking the DRC, to be honest. I don't mind Dragon's Rage channeler, but maybe that's a pretty bad card, and then we should just be taking one of these other cards instead. Maybe it is just a Seeka's Chariot. I think the Chariot's pretty good. We obviously need to get some cheaper cards going here, though. Wow, there's the Dark Ritual to pair with the Doomsday. There's Bone Crusher Giant. There's Badlands, but so far we're not in black. There's Sowing Myco Spawn, which is pretty good. It's another 4-drop, though. Like, if I keep taking these more expensive cards, we're just going to get absolutely buried. But I don't know that I want Lorien Revealed. So I think I'm going to take the Myco Spawn here. And we'll see what comes of all that. Terra Sunder seems pretty good. There's Thespian Stage if we wanted to go in that direction. And then there's also 6 and Chandra Torch of Defiance. I think I'm going to take 6. Lets us retrace permanent cards from our graveyard. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, let's take 6, and then we really want to find some cheaper spells. What's Ursine Monstrosity? At the beginning of combat on your turn, mill a card, choose an opponent at random, and attacks that player if combat if able. Monstrosity seems pretty good. We could also take this Sylvan Library. We don't have any cheap cards yet. Oof. I'm not a big fan of what's happening here. Monstrosity is pretty powerful. Let's just keep taking powerful creatures, seeing what happens. Here's a Tarfire. There's also Exploration. I might just grab the Tarfire, to be honest. Here there's Lotus Cobra, which can be good. There's the Witherbloom Apprentice, which came back around in case we wanted to take that and try to go into a Chain of Smog. There's also Glorybringer Dragon, which is like a pretty powerful card. We so far have no lands. I'm really not liking this draft. We need to get some cheaper things in the mix here, so I think, you know what, let's take the Apprentice, and maybe we find a backdoor into Chain of Smog to give us some extra gas. I'm going to take the green-black fixing card now. I think I'm going to pick up this Crater Hoof, and we'll just hang it off to the side. Bone Crusher Giant, not terrible. Fallen Shinobi can go to the sideboard. We would love Mana Crypt would be single-handedly the best Magic card that we could open here, by a pretty large margin. Soul Ring as well. Of course, we see none of those cards here. There's a Thornspire Verge, which would be pretty nice if it came back around. There's an Endurance, and then there's also a Gaia's Cradle. I think I'm going to take the Cradle in the hopes that we end up getting a few more creatures in our deck. I could also take this Blood Crypt, of course, which goes with the Witherbloom Apprentice. I think I'm going to take Gaia's Cradle here. Really not liking how this draft is unfolding so far, if I'm being completely honest. Here there's Pyrokinesis, which seems quite powerful. There's Canker Bloom, which is kind of interesting. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Memory Jar. I might take Pyrokinesis. It's a pitch card. It's quite powerful. I could also just take a Braid. I can take Troll of Khazad-dûm, but I don't think I want that. Yeah, let's take Pyrokinesis. This pack is pretty crazy. There's a Fury, which is insane, and then there's also Verdant Catacombs and Arid Mesa. I think I have to take Verdant here. Because that fixing the mana seems pretty wild. I could also, like, I could, of course, take Fury. Fury's very powerful, but I'm worried that we kind of want some kind of fetch land, especially like red and 6 would be a card that I'd love to pick up. So we're gonna take the Verdant Catacombs here. And now whenever land enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. If this is the second time this ability is resolved this turn, double. So there's this Cub, which seems kind of cool. And then there's a Brawler. We don't have a lot of basic land types yet. There's also Grist, the Hunger Tithe, and then Inquisition of Kozilek. I think I'm going to just take this Cub, though that seems pretty terrible. I could also take the Zagoth Triome. Maybe we'll do that. Ooh, there's Ren and 6. We were talking about Ren and 6. I love Ren and 6. I think I'm going to take Ren. I've only got one fetch land so far. But if I can get some more, that would be nice. And we're not really passing any green-red lands. There's this Nissa, which does some number of interesting things. And there's also a Magda. But I'll take Ren and 6 for now. And there's Birds of Paradise, which you kind of love to see. I think I'm going to take the birds. It obviously goes well with our Gaia's Cradle. There's Sylvan Caryatid, which would fix our mana as well. The Dark Depths we've already passed. We've already passed the one that goes with that. Ooh, here's Natural Order, and we have Craterhoof Behemoth. Oh, that's really nice. There's also Bristly Bill. But I actually don't mind picking up Natural Order here. Natural Order actually gives us a bit of a plan, doesn't it? An Uvenwald Oddity. Jetmir's Garden. There's also Bayou. Bayou's not super helpful. I think the Jetmir's Garden might be more helpful than the Bayou for us at this juncture because it gets us green-red. So I'm going to take that, but I don't like that it's a tapped land. But I'm gonna choose to take that. I don't even know what backup does. I don't know what backup does. Dash, a 2/1 double strike. The problem of being a legacy player is that like I have never cast a card with backup and I don't have enough time to read what it does. So we're going to take Endurance, I think, which seems like a pretty powerful card. Canker Bloom or Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Canker Bloom doesn't seem terrible. Soul Cauldron. We have Endurance as a graveyard hate spell, so I don't think we necessarily need that. And then here we could take Nissa, who shakes the world. And now we could take the Cub or the Brawler. We have Jedmir's Garden plus Zagoth Triome. But the Cub is kind of cool. Like with Red and 6, if we can get another fetch land. Loot the Pathfinder. Or Big Nissa. We'll take Big Nissa. This is a pretty sweet Sylvan Caryatid, I think, over Bloodbraid Challenger. I kind of want to ramp. And then here's a Hutai, which will, whatever this is, Hutai? Huatli, Poet of Unity. She transforms. Can we get a... Oh, I was going to say, can we get a Mana Crypt or a Piece of Power? Well, here's Ancestral Recall. We're going to splash blue for Ancestral. I kind of think that we are. It's not the piece of power that I would like in this deck. Now I wish that I just took that Doomsday or something and started like forcing that as a strategy. But there's honestly, we're not passing up on much else. We've already got a blue land in Triome. We've got Birds of Paradise and Sylvan Caryatid. So let's take this Ancestral Recall and see if we can't put it to good use. Here there's Springheart Nantuko, Green Sun Zenith, and Stomping Ground. I really want to pick up this Stomping Ground. There's also Boseiju who endures, which is really powerful with Ren and 6. Hopefully we can wheel one of Green Sun, Boseiju, or Springheart Nantuko, though I think I have to take the Stomping Ground off the bat here. And now what do we have? Ooh, there's a Lotus Petal. There's also Llanowar Elves. Like Llanowar Elves is obviously good with Craterhoof Behemoth, Gaia's Cradle, and the Natural Order. There's Up the Beanstalk, but we don't have that many beans to go up. And then Lotus Petal is obviously also powerful. Vaultborn Tyrant, another powerful card, but I think I actually want to take the Elf here. I haven't drafted green in a long while. And there's a World Spine Worm. There's a Chain Lightning. There's Lightning Greaves. What if Nadu came around? Like, should I just take Lightning Greaves and we just on the spec if Nadu comes around? I don't think that's right. Chain Lightning seems pretty good to us, or good for us. I think I'm going to take Chain Lightning here. It's a very nice burn spell. Definitely don't want Dark Confidant. There's Generous Ent. There's Fanatic. Just another mana ramping guy. Not bad. And then there's Generous Ent. There's Cut Down, but we're not leaning that hard into black. In fact, we might not be playing black at all if we don't finding a Chain of Smog. So I think I'm going to take the Fanatic of Ronus here. And now there's Time Twister, which could go with the Hull Breacher we have in the sideboard. There's a Thundering Falls, which could help us cast some of our cards. There's a Galvanic Discharge, and there's also just this Hex Drinker. There's also Grim Lavamancer. I think I'm going to take Hex Drinker. I think that card's pretty powerful. Oh, wow. Here's Commercial District and Lelia, both of which appear to be powerful cards. I think I take Lelia over the Commercial District. We've already got Stomping Ground. I don't want to have too many cards that enter tapped. Questing Beast is also good. Lelia is a powerful magic card. And then here, there's Orcish Lumberjack. Do we want to be lumberjacking, or am I just supposed to take Botanical Sanctum, which will help us cast our Ancestral Recall? I kind of feel as though I'm just supposed to take the Sanctum here. We're going to cut a number of cards from our deck anyways. What do we want here? There's a Yavimaya, there's Fire Blast, and Burst Lightning. I don't know if I want Fire Blast in this deck, but it does give us some reach. It's also a 6-mana card. I'm just going to take Burst Lightning, I think. Here's Boseiju, Springheart Nantuko, and Green Sun Zenith. I think I'm just going to take the Boseiju. Springheart's obviously good. Do we have crazy things to copy with Springheart? I'm going to take Boseiju just because we have Ren in 6. Kari Zev, Ship Raider, Vampire Hexmage, Preacher of the Schism, Up the Beanstalk. I guess I'll take the Ship Raider, but I don't think I'll be playing it. Carnage Interpreter. Bizarre Baghdad doesn't seem that good. Worldspine Worm. Sure. Here's Goblin Crater Maker. I think this deck's going to be a little suspect. Grim Lavamancer. Interesting. Okay. I have not played with creatures in a very long time. So I'm just going to take a few seconds here to try to put together something resembling a deck of Magic cards, and then I'll come back to you all with what I've come up with. All right, so this is the list that I've come up with, for now at least. Fiery Confluence might be a little challenging to cast. I've cut red and 6. We've only got one fetch land. Obviously didn't get the Chain of Smog to go with the Witherbloom. Trimmed on some of the red cards. Not sure if I wanted to play Pyrokinesis or not. Huatli did not seem that good to me. I don't know if this is the perfect 75. It's possible we don't even want to be playing Ancestral, but Ancestral is certainly a powerful card. So we're going to play this Gruul aggro list with splashing blue for the Ancestral recall. And we'll see how it happens. I don't usually draft decks like this at all. So yeah, it's been a while. As you know, I'm a Doomsday player at heart. I don't really mess around with combat math too much, so it's possible I just screw this up 100,000 ways. And that's just because it's been a long time since I've really attacked much with creatures in Magic, and playing a deck that's devoted to winning with combat damage kind of scares me a little, to be honest. But it's a good muscle to flex again, so we'll see how it unfolds. So we got the Cub, which is pretty cool. I think we'll keep this hand. We could play out the Verdant to get one of our tap sources, like our blue land. But I kind of want to use this Cub to the best of our ability. And that kind of feels like we want to hold our fetch land. Playing a Verge. I think we're just going to jam Boseiju, who endures here, and we'll play the Scythecat Cub. We'll pass the turn. This thing's got trample, so that's pretty awesome. Maybe we can like shock a blocker, fetch for our green source, our blue source, put a bunch of counters on this Cub, and then get to town. It's possible they also just kill the Cub, in which case we might fetch for an untapped land and cast our Ursine Monstrosity. We might just get to stomping here, to be honest. Ooh, there's Llanowar Elves. Do we want to set ourselves up? Okay, let's put a +1/+1 counter on the Cub. Then I think I'm just gonna get the blue source just so that we have it. But it's possible that jamming the Ursine Monstrosity there is really what we want it to be doing. Now, do I just kill their creature? I might just stomp. Yeah, let's just stomp here. Stomp and attack for 4. And then next turn, we can maybe play Ursine Monstrosity. We've got the Endurance in case they go for some Entomb Reanimate shenanigans. Our counter doubling train is over, but I kind of liked getting both counters on there, attacking for 4. This is kind of like a card that just needs to get answered now, and we've got a bunch of other quite sizable boys to start jamming here as well. Grief. Sure. Let's see how they stack this Grief. Okay. Am I supposed to endurance the grief? Are they going to reanimate here? I think, yeah, if they want to take endurance, they can take endurance. They're probably going to take the monstrosity. Yeah. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Sure. That's a pretty powerful one. Now I kind of wish I had my stomp for that. Sylvan Caryatid. Let's play Jetmir's Garden. Pump the Cub. Attack for 5 with the Cub. And then, honestly, I kind of just want to jam Bone Crusher Giant. Pass the turn. Now I would love to draw an Ancestral. Let's see, our opponent can't really do reanimate shenanigans. Well, they could if they have counterspell for the endurance, but yeah, I'm pretty happy pitching Sylvan Caryatid, I think. Faithless Looting and the Blood Vampire. Gut. Gut's such an annoying card. That card's killed us a few times. There's no way that they're sacking their Goblin, though, is there? Or you can sacrifice an artifact, too. So they're going to sack their Blood token or their Treasure token to make a 4-1. Oh, they just sacked that. Weird. There's a Menacer. Sure. I mean, yeah, we're gonna crack back for a pretty hefty amount of damage here. There's a Tireless Tracker. Let's get in there with these guys. They're gonna take 9, go to 2, and then let's play Tireless Tracker, Llanowar Elves. Pass the turn. They're going to need to find like a board wipe here or something, I think. I mean, it's Vintage Cube. A lot can happen here, but I'm feeling decently good about our prospects considering we have a 5/5 Trampler. Here comes an attack. Going to get another Menacer. We could take 10 here and go to 5. I think that's fine. They could like bolt, I guess. Oh, Time Walk. Yeah, that'll do it. Time Walk will do it. Okay, on to the next one. I want Tarfire. There's another removal spell. We might want Pyrokinesis as well here. Damn, Gut is such an annoying Magic card. What can we cut for these 2 cards? Sowing Mycospawn doesn't seem that good, so we could cut that. And then we could cut, I think Asika's Chariot's fine. Monstrosity's good. I think I like Endurance. Rabblemaster seems decent. Sylvan Caryatid. Wow, we were so close there. Time Walk is, I mean, yeah. Keep getting got sometimes by just like these cards you can't really play around. Could just be Llanowar Elves. It's not that exciting of a Magic card. This one does not do a lot, so we'll ship it. This hand also sucks. Maybe we're supposed to keep. We're on the play, though. Let's go to 5. I don't know. I guess we'll keep this. Put Confluence on the bottom because we're very far from casting that. I mean, we can't cast anything in our hand. So we'll lead on Forest, pass, and then probably just end up going on to the next match here, I would imagine. Grim Lavamancer, pretty good card against us. And yep, we are just dead. Lands. Comes the attack. What should I play? I could go Canker Bloom, Pitchcast Endurance, tap this, play Hub. Is that stupid? It's pretty stupid. Okay, well, we do have the Endurance. They might go for a Reanimate here, in which case we can blow them out with Endurance. Okay. Making a dude. I think I need to just start trading off here. They've got so much damage coming down. And we just need to trade some of our cards for their cards. I'd love to draw land here, though. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Yeah, we are so boned. Draw Boseiju. Boseiju's interesting. I could take out the Fable. Or I could just play the Fable as a land. This is difficult to say. I'm just going to play the Boseiju as a land. Pump our cat. I could pitch cast the Endurance, but I don't. And then play the Earth Sign Monstrosity, but I don't think I want to do that. Just pass. Play a Blazemire Verge. They've got a gut. And I don't think that there's any world in which we could possibly beat this card. Go to blocks. We'll eat the Shaman, take 5, go to 7. Yeah, I think I'm fine just to go on to the next one. That time walk. Oh man. I don't know how I got led down the Gruul Avenue, but it's potentially the Gruul's like really good when you open like a mana crypt. Ooh. I mean, sure, right? This isn't the best hand. It's got an Ancestral. We're going to keep it. I kind of want to lead on Zagoth Triome, but I just can't bring myself to. My opponent as a Thoughtseize. Leading on Island is so bad, but yeah, we'll see. Am I supposed to lead on Zagoth? It just feels so bad to have my opponent like discard my Ancestral Recall like right off the bat, right? That just seems terrible. It seems utterly terrible to me. So I think we'll begin by playing Island against. That just means that we'll have this colorless land, but at least it guarantees that we get to cast the Ancestral in the face of a Thoughtseize. And then maybe the Zagoth Triome just gets cycled. Maybe we draw Mountain. We'll see. Our opponent's deep in the tank about their keep. They're also playing 41 cards in their deck. Always a fun time. We really just want to find some creatures and a red land off of this Ancestral. That would be ideal. Ooh. All right. It's about to take a drink of water, but our opponent had other plans for us. They're going to play an Island. I think I'm going to fire the Ancestral in their end step. Untap, upkeep, draw, Crater Hoof. We'll go down to 8. We'll jam Caryatid. We'll pass. Next turn, we could play like Azeka's Chariot. My opponent obviously could be representing a counterspell here. Ooh, there's a 6. Well, let's go for the Fetcherino. We'll grab Stomping Ground. We'll shock the ground in. Do we want to play Chariot? Chariot attacks. Create a token that's a copy of target token you control. Yeah. If they want to counter this, I think that's fine. That just comes into play. Great. This thing doesn't have haste. I've never actually used Chariot before. I see LSV draft it a lot, so thought we'd play it. Maybe we just lose to Underworld Breach. That's certainly a possibility. We're gonna do our best to try to put the pedal to the metal here. So we're gonna crew up the Chariot, I think. Narset Parter avails. Sure. Yep. What are they getting? Lorien revealed. Okay. Untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Let's play Mountain. If I just cast Bone Crusher Giant, crew the Chariot, attack. How crazy is that? I can also just play 6, which seems pretty good. I think we're gonna go for 6 here. We're gonna crew the Chariot. We're going to go begin combat. Chariot attacks Narset. Cat token attacks our opponent. We'll make another cat token off the Chariot. I love cats. Oh, so cute. And let's see if they have like pyrokinesis or something. No. That's just done. We've got Bone Crusher now to deal 2 damage to something. We've got Endurance. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're like pretty close to Crater Hoofing as well. Lorien revealed is getting cycled for an island. They're playing this prophetic thing. They're drawing a card. This smells like some kind of blue-red storm deck to me. Am I supposed to hit my opponent with a Bone Crusher in their end step just to be as mana efficient as possible? I kind of don't hate it. I'm going to stomp my opponent. Maybe this is like really aggressive, but I kind of want to use all my mana. I want to draw for turn. Oh, Minsc Boo's a heavy hitter here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's play Zagoth Triome. Let's cast Minsc Boo. Let's make a hamster. Let's pump the hamster. Let's crew the Chariot. Let's go to attacks. Let's smash our opponent. We'll make it another cat. Hit our opponent for a boatload of damage. And then we've got Boseiju for Underworld Breach off of our legendary creature in the form of Boo. Yeah. Okay. Opponent's at 4. We've got a pretty overwhelming board presence, but we could just die to Storm, which is the problem. Good. Okay. We don't know quite what our opponent's up to, but we certainly put the screws to them there. Something tells me we might want this Hull Breacher. Something tells me, we might want to breach some hulls. And we didn't see much in the way of creatures. We didn't really see much at all out of our opponent. Could we cut like chain lightning to that end? Could. We got Bone Crusher, but Bone Crusher does is at least a 4/3. Sowing Myco Spawn again, I think is just a little cute. We're gonna try it like this, I think. Boarding in the Hull Breacher, maybe to stop our opponent's wheels. They've got a Narset. I'm feeling that they've got Time Twister and some other cards. This time we've got Gaia's Cradle. I think I'm going to keep this hand. It's a little slow. We would love to draw like a Llanowar Elves. There's Library of Alexandria, sure. Oh, wow, there is the Llanowar Elves. Draw a card off Library. Play a Mountain. They'll pass. I think. Hopefully they don't bolt our Elves. Okay, what's the best course of action here? I could just play Lelia and attack, like get to attacking. I could play Cub. Chedemir's Garden tapped. That might be what I'll do. Play the Garden tapped. Then pass. We've got Natural Order for Crater Hoof, which can come down the pipe at a certain point here. If my opponent just passes, that seems exceptional to me. Let's go one. Hold on. Oh, Cradle with a Zika's Chariot's like obviously good. Maybe we don't expose the Cradle until next turn. So let's Cub here. And then let's fetch. And I think we go for the Stomping Ground. We double the counters on this thing. Then I think we go to our attack step. We attack for 6 with the Cub. And then we play the Chariot. They're going to draw a card off the library. The Chariot's going to come into play. Then next turn, we're going to have the Gaia's Cradle. I might have been able to like sequence this better. I haven't played with Gaia's Cradle in a long time. Don't own one in paper. Never play Gaia's Cradle decks in Legacy. But next turn, we're going to play a big Gaia's Cradle. We're going to go Lelia into Natural Order. And hopefully that'll be enough to kill our opponent. They're just going to discard a Kitsa. We've got a Caryatid. Let's play a Gaia's Cradle. Let's, I guess, Cub again. Then let's go 1, 2, 3 for a Lelia. Blade Reforged. Then let's tap this. I guess tap. Let's go Natural Order. Petty Theft the Cub. Sure. Crater Hoof Behemoth. Replay Cub. And that should be that. All right. This time, things went very quick, very efficiently, and we got there. Our opponent didn't really do much in either of those games, and we just kind of overran them in Gruul fashion. Sometimes it's fun to play creatures. Maybe that's what I'll call this draft. Sometimes it's fun to play creatures, but other times you just get gut shot by gut and time walk, and you just hate playing creatures, so who knows? I don't know what it is about gut, but there's something about that card that just aggravates me. I think it's from the Luris video, which by now you will have seen. The Luris video, the gut really really got me. Anyways, let's see if we can get a 2-1 here with our weird Gruul Ancestral Recall deck. Already looks like we've got an opponent for the last round here. We won the die roll. Turn 1 Hex Shrinker. Turn 2 Fanatic of Ronus. Maybe we can find a red source then for a turn 3 Minskin Boo. In any case, we're going to drink some hexes here. I think this hand's fine. We'll see what we're playing against. It's not really good against other creatures, but it could be good against, I don't know, some janky combo deck or something. Black card. Okay. I don't mind seeing that and a pass. Of course, here's the island that could have been a mountain. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Okay, I'm going to Fanatic. Attack my opponent for 2. JVP, sure. Red source. Sowing Myco Spawn. What does this one do? When you cast this spell, search your library for a land card, put it onto the battlefield. Okay, well, let's level up Hex Drinker. Let's level up Hex Drinker. Let's level up Hex Drinker. Let's tap Fanatic of Ronus. Let's cast Sowing Myco Spawn. Or do I just give this Hex Shrinker protection from everything? I don't think I can do that just yet. So I'm going to cast Sowing Myco Spawn. I'm going to search my library. I think just for a mountain. Myco Spawn will enter. We'll level up the Drinker again. Drinker's going to come in for 4. We'll pass the turn. Next turn we can jam Greater Hoof Behemoth. Blood Tithe Harvester to the graveyard. Black mana, what is this? Bone Shards, kill Hex Drinker. Sure. 8 plus 5 will be 13. Oh, and the Fanatic of Ronus is now turned off. Right. So the Fanatic of Ronus is turned off. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Cast Minskin Boo. They've got Spell Pierce for Minskin Boo. Okay, our opponent is beginning to turn the corner here. Now we're so far from doing anything, and we're probably going to lose this game. Wow, that Spell Pierce was very good. Not playing around it, obviously, but yeah, we were like 1 mana short of making this pro everything. And now this Crater Hoof is just stranded in our hand. We can't cast the Fiery Confluence, and we're kind of up Shit's Creek without a paddle. Rather unfortunate, but what can you do? Is he going to get Bone Shards here? This smells like Reanimator to me. Yeah, reanimate the Valky. Take Crater Hoof, sure. Diminish the power of my Myco Spawn. Upkeep draw. Declare attacks. Let's attack my opponent for 3 here. They're going to block 1 with the Valky. That's fine. We're just going to play out the Jedimir's Garden. We'll pass the turn. Concealing Curtains is an 0-4. Telepath, sure. They're going to have the counterspell for the Fiery Confluence, I would imagine. But maybe that's fine. Do I want a Confluence or Lelia? I think I'm going to try for the Confluence. I mean, oh, nice. Okay, yeah, we just got there with the Confluence. They didn't have the counter spell. We won game one. Opponent's playing Reanimator. We've got Endurance. That seems like a really good card. What else do we want to kind of stop our opponent? They've got Jaceren's Prodigy. I could see this Kari Zev. Honestly, it doesn't seem like a bad card. Maybe we're supposed to be playing that. The Soy Microspawn was pretty good there. I think I'm going to bring in Kari Zev. That'll be that. And we'll see what happens here. What a quick league. You kind of like playing Gruul. Oh my gosh. The old 16 land deck, 7 land opener. Let's mull that. This one seems a little bit better, so we're going to keep that. And I think we'll put the Zagoth Triome onto the bottom just because it's a tapped land and we've got a lot of other things here. I'm going to lead on Botanical Sanctum. I think... Oh, no, now that we drew that, I think it can just be Llanowar Elves. If they want to kill the Llanowar Elves, of course, they may do so. We'll play a turn 2 Laelia, Blade Reforged. Got Sanders Lounge in the end step. What else have they got? They're just going to pass. I think I'm still going to go for the Laelia here. I could also just play 2 spells. Like if your opponent passes with mana up, maybe the better choice of actions just to play 2 spells, though I just fucked up. And now I really fucked up, so we are just going to play 2 spells, though that was poor sequencing. I was talking, I wasn't thinking. Let's see if they want to counter this Scythecat Cub. There's the mana leak, just as we said. So yeah, we could have not deployed anything this turn, but now we at least get a Birds of Paradise. We'll pass. And then maybe the Laelia can come down next turn. But yeah, this game's not going as well. Okay, they can't afford to shock. Do we want Laelia or Chariot? Let's, I think, just go for the Laelia here. Okay, can we go to combat? And I'm just going to attack with Laelia in case we flip a 2-drop. It's a forest. Should have also attacked with Llanowar Elves, of course. Yeah, with that, we'll pass the turn. Ooh, end step Entomb. Yep, this could just be... I mean, yeah, we'll be dead to this Archon of Cruelty, that's for sure. There's not much we can say about an Archon. Reanimate deals 8 damage. I guess we can try to race an Archon, but I don't think that's too likely. Ponder, Underground Sea. Bone Shards Laelia. Jesus Christ. This one I think is about as good as done. Oh man, the Endurance just taunting us. Yeah, I don't even want to show them the Endurance. I'm just going to go to the next game. We are so dead. Oh man, how can we fight against that? Do I want Hull Breacher just as kind of a pesky creature? Like they are playing blue. Maybe they've got something. I mean, Endurance. We just really need Endurance. We really, really need Endurance. Burst Lightning can maybe be cut. Or maybe just Kari Zev. I kind of like just having all these creatures in burn. Caryatid a bit slow. Nissa's pretty slow. Yeah, I'll cut the Burst Lightning, I guess, for the Hull Breacher. Maybe it can slow our opponent down just a little bit. I mean, yeah, we'll keep this. Doesn't have the endurance, but I'm not mulling a turn one Hex Drinker hand. We just got to hope that they don't have like the absolute nuts. Swamp Concealing Curtains. There's the Breacher. Let's attack with Hex Drinker. See what our opponent wants to say about that. Yeah, they're going to block. Sure. Do I want to bolt it? I don't think I do. I think we have to get this Caryatid down. There's the JVP. Very nice. Here's Curie Zev. So let's go Chain Lightning. Let's go blue Ancestral Recall. Let's go red Skyship. Pass. Ceiling Curtains. Swarms. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an on-land card from it. If you do, that player discards a card and then draws a card. So we're going to take Nissa. We'll take a Stomping Ground. Now they've got a 3/4. Untap, upkeep, draw. Let's play Mountain, I guess. Let's level up. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up, I guess. Declare attacks. Okay, the Revealing Eye will eat the Ragavan. We'll pass the turn. Hopefully they don't have Entomb Reanimate here. Otawara. Oh, Scalding Tarn, sorry. Searching for Underground Sea. Entomb Reanimate. Spellseeker for Entomb. Spellseeker for Entomb. Maybe for Bone Shards. Occult Epiphany. Draw X cards, then discard X cards. Create a 1/1 flying for each card type among cards discarded this way. What's the black mana going for? They already have the Bone Shards. Okay. So the Hex Drinker's just been getting Bone Sharded this entire time. Now we have no good attacks. They got Occult Epiphany. We get Goblin Rabblemaster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can play both of these, I guess. And I mean, I just want to pressure my opponent's life total as best that I can. So I think we have to attack with everything. How do I? Yeah, we'll kill that with first strike. Die. My opponent will take 3. I'll pass the turn. I've got a Hull Breacher, I guess. Play that tapped. Can't really attack with the Revealing Eye in their end step. They're going to Occult Epiphany in response. Yeah, we can't actually play the Hull Breacher. Do this. Go like that. We'll go to combat. Attack with everything. Fiery Confluence. There's the mana leak. Sure. So now we're dead. I mean, I wanted to fire that off there. Now they've got the Occult into probably Reanimate. Yeah, here comes a massive occult epiphany. I guess I wasn't supposed to cast the fiery there, but I don't know. Do not know. They're tapping completely out here. I guess I was supposed to play the Forest over the Botanical Sanctum to play around Mana Leak. I forgot they were playing Mana Leak. They've got a bunch of 1/1 spirits now. We'll play Tireless Tracker, Forest, Investigate, tap, draw a card, Natural Order. Natural Order's pretty good. We'll create a dude. Those two dudes are going to attack. Go like that. Sure. Pass the turn. Okay. This Natural Order might actually be good. Our opponent's got Imperial Seal. Yep. This is where we're going to draw the Crater Hoof Behemoth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, we can cast it. Okay. What are they getting with this Imperial Seal? They're going to 4. And they're just scooping. Wow. I don't know why they would just scoop there. Did I just have lethal on board? I mean, the Hull Breacher. But I don't know. Cool. All right. We went 2-1 with Gruul there. If you enjoyed watching me trying to attack and win with creatures, feel free to give the video a like or drop a subscribe. And we'll be back with probably some more cube action because I've got 2 more cube tokens that I purchased. And so there'll at least be 2 more drafts after this one. And we'll do some legacy, hopefully maybe thrown in between some cube drafts. I've been loving cubes so much, so I've actually kind of been getting a bit of a backlog here of drafts built up. I hope to see you all again very soon. I hope you have wonderful days wherever you are. And yeah, cheers, cheers, cheers. Signing out until next time. Peace.